Yeah, well, I thought maybe your book magics would have been a bit faster than that.
Oh, is 10 minutes not convenient enough for you to unlock all the mysteries of the universe? I'm sorry, but the tap don't drip that fast around here. Hello, everybody. My name is YujimboXD, and welcome to the channel. And today we return to episode 3 of Sea of Bones, a homebrewed 5th edition game of Dungeons & Dragons. This is a homebrewed 5th edition game of D&D. We'll be using Roll20 for the duration of the campaign. For those who don't know, Roll20 is a website that is used to host a variety of role-playing games like Dungeons & Dragons, and has the tools we need to play a tabletop game online when meeting in person just isn't possible. But first, if you are new here, I'd appreciate it if you'd hit the subscribe button, and if you want to see us live, you can check us out here on YouTube or over on Twitch. Links are in the description. Alright, let's get into the video.
Welcome back, and bienvenue derrière to Sea of Bones, a 5th edition homebrewed Dungeons & Dragons game written and hosted by me, Mac Prolikowski. As always, we want to thank our sponsors, of whom we still have none, and we continue to be entirely self-supported just like our flagellation. Fans of Sea of Bones know I will now beseech the powers at PepsiCo. Grant me your blessings and let me wield the righteous thunder of Mountain Dew!
Mountain Dew.
Let's recap. When our heroes last gathered, they made berth at the Isle of Saltspire, where they had hoped to earn a little fame and fortune. However, they found the city firmly in the grip of the Black Coin Church. They found respite at the Drunk Skunk, the only public tavern on the island, where they met Jin, the barkeep, and Biggs and Lump, former arena promoters turned bouncers. Unfortunately, the arena was closed and the market was under surveillance. Biggs offered to let the party meet with his boss, the former ruler of the island, if they could recover a stockpile of weapons. The party set sail immediately, despite the residual effects of their celebrating at the tavern the night prior, and found themselves in the chilly grip of a frozen island. They quickly found the proposed location of the cache, but found it guarded by a troglodyte druid and a coven of ice elementals and mephits. Go ahead and allow Sibo to introduce himself before he takes his turn.
Hello, everybody. I'm Sibo. That's what my fans call me anyway, but that's not my real name. I'm a gnome bard, which is a traveling teller of stories and entertainer.
Willie, you want to say hi to everybody real quick?
Hi.
All right. Kaz, you want to say hey?
Cass is in not a very good mood. He woke up hungover and he's currently freezing because he decided to not wear a undershirt in the winter.
Jareth?
Once again, I'm always struggling to remember my voice week to week. I'm YujimboXD. I play Jareth, the Verdan Warlock.
Rounding out our party, Jack Nightshadow.
Hello, people of the internet. Jack Nightshadow here.
All right, our group finds themselves in our troglodyte druid coven's home, and it is Sibo's turn first. The party was able to, with Willie's help, sniff out the mephits and elementals that were waiting to ambush them.
I will bonus action Bardic Inspiration. Willie, you now have a d6 to add to any roll that you want to do, up to and including damage, but you have 10 minutes to use it. But you got this, Willie. Knuckle up. Fire at that one right here. This one right here. 16.
A hit.
9 points of piercing damage. Ooh, that's max damage.
It's a solid hit for sure, but your crossbow bolt seems to wince slightly off the side. It doesn't seem to deal as much damage as you expected from the shot.
Oh no, you guys. That's my turn.
Okay, Sibo, now it's Willie.
So let's move over by him and smack his butt good. Yeah.
14 is a hit. Willie, although the elemental appeared to resist some of the force of your blow, you are able to kill it. And that's when the fun really begins, because when it dies, it explodes into a shard of ice and shrapnel of ice everywhere. Fortunately, the only person close enough to be exposed to it is Willie, and he will need to make a dexterity save. You take 7 cold damage. You killed that one, and this one appears injured from the blast of the other one. So there's that. Was that your turn, Willie?
I do get another attack. I should be able to move, we'll say here, do another attack.
That's a
beautiful.
crit.
That it is.
Hold on.
The elemental shatters, and you need to make another dexterity save. You make the save.
Only take half.
Yes, you only take 3 cold damage. Is that your turn, Willie?
Yeah.
Okay. Kaz, it is your turn.
Hi, Cass here. Cass is just exhausted. He's just like not even in the mood for a fight. It's just like, oh, I am going to share with you the same pounding headache I have. Shattering boom! And I'm going to use shatter.
And these two are killed instantly, and they of course shatter around them, smashing some of these barrels that are slightly decayed.
For those who couldn't see, because my character doesn't have line of sight, he killed 3 things off screen.
So Kaz, is that your turn?
Yeah, I'm just gonna like slump there, like, ugh.
Okay, Jareth.
Can you see the method?
I can see a bit of it, yes.
It's a dark room. This is like a cave.
Then I will just cast light on this barrel right here then.
All right, well, now you have cast a light into the room and you can see the monsters better.
I'm just gonna take cover behind the wall. That's my turn.
All right, Jack.
Ahem. I will cast Mirror Image. There are now 3 of me here.
Oh god, am I getting drunker? Oh.
And I don't have a bonus action that can hit him, so that's my turn.
I'm going to-
Druid can be observed casting a spell. That green circle there, it's an entangling roots. The Mephits attempt to summon more Mephits, but both fail. This Mephit uses a frost breath towards Jack and his mirror images. They must make a dexterity save, as well as Kaz and Sibo as the other Mephit uses his frost breath at both of you.
Nope.
You
I'm gonna
take
do
5
mine.
cold damage. Jack makes his save, and
Why is
Sibo
it doing
also takes 5 cold damage. Jack, you take 2 cold.
No, my temporary hit points.
No, I still have 1 more temporary hit point.
Willie, the ice elemental, is able to hit you for 7 cold damage. Till you take an action to stop shivering, you will take 3 cold damage at the end of your turn. That makes it Sibo's turn.
I will cast Cure Wounds. You heal for 5. And then I will bonus action Inspire. Come on, Willie, I gave you my healing touch. Now kill this bitch.
That was fantastic. Willie's inspired. Good job. All right,
That's it.
Willie, it is your turn.
So I take an action to
Put yourself out
not
from the
be-
shivering. Yep.
Yeah.
And then that would be your standard action, right? So you can still move and bonus action.
Bonus action. Attack this bitch.
And he pops the elemental. However, Willie and Sibo will both need dexterity saving throws from the shattering
Ow!
explosion.
Ice is fun.
Oh, it's so pointy.
I look like a burn victim.
Sibo
Ah.
takes 3 cold damage, dodging most of the dangerous shards of ice.
Oh, my nipple.
And Willie takes 7. Willie, is that your turn?
Yep.
All right, next Kaz.
Cass here, 25 right there that currently Rish has highlighted. That's my movement. And while Cass is doing that, he is going to twin a Chaos Bolt at these two. Cass gets moved by a gust of air. Gonna go Chaotic Barrage. I'm gonna roll the one for the left, and I'm gonna roll the one for the right.
That's definitely a hit.
And the second one is also a hit.
Yep, definitely.
The Chaotic Bolt hits the first target on the left with lightning damage. 13 points of lightning damage. The bolt goes through that target and then also aims at the other target where another Chaos Bolt is currently hitting it.
It's like free
Good.
cleave.
Yeah, if you roll doubles, it hits another target within 30 feet.
The second one is going to get hit with 17 points of psychic damage.
And then,
And then it's going to get hit by another 13 points of lightning damage.
Oh,
Yep.
well, the
Oh
second
my
Mephit explodes. And the first Mephit now has to make a dexterity save or take damage from the explosion, which it fails. Not
Oh,
enough to
can-
kill it, but almost. It's near death.
That is
All right,
crazy.
Kaz, that was a very, very powerful spell. And is that your turn?
Yes.
All
And
right, Jareth.
Jareth, seeing there's only one Mephit left, will go back up, line him up in the doorway, and shoot an Eldritch Blast at him. And does an 18 hit it?
Yes.
10 damage of force. As I channel my Eldritch Blast and just fire away through the doorway at it.
That's a hit, and it kills it. The ice Mephit explodes, and no one's near it enough to take any damage. But is that your turn, Jareth?
Yes.
Jack, your turn.
see, I had these things called wings, and I fled over the vines, all 4 of me. Bonus action, he is hexed now.
He's got the little hex icon, so you can get your bonus damage against him.
Eldritch Blast seems like fun. Let's see how that goes.
17's a hit.
10.
All right. He fails his concentration check. That's Jack's turn then. Okay. Monster's turn. Everything is dead except the druid. He moves to right there, and he casts Thunder Wave. And I need a Constitution saving throw from Bruce. So he successfully pushes you 10 feet,
Does it
and
roll to-
you take 9 thunder damage. He says something in Sylvan, but I don't believe anybody has Sylvan. So he says something, but no one knows what he says. Sibo, your turn.
He's saying something weird. I don't like it. Oh, shit, Willie, you're really fucked up. Here, bud. And I pump another Cure Wounds into you. If you would like, you can add an additional D6 to that.
10.
Is that your turn, Sibo?
Yeah, that's it. I'm not going to do it.
All
I was
right.
going to inspire, but I'm going to hold on to him.
Willie, your turn.
Thanks. I don't look as much of like a burn victim now.
Yes, your wounds magically begin to close, and you feel invigorated
Ah.
by magic.
Alright, so if I did a double movement, that would eliminate my attack. Alright,
Yeah, that-
I'll go right up next to him.
Willie, you must make a Constitution saving throw. Because the troglodyte stinks so horribly, you have to resist puking getting near it. You make the save, so you are not poisoned, and you're immune to its stink for 1 hour.
Smells like Mom's cooking.
So, Willie,
Right.
anything else?
Nah, that's all I can do.
All right, Kaz, your turn.
Cass just looks at the distance it is away and just how tired he is. It's like, yeah, no, I'm not gonna even try. Chaos missile. And he's just gonna half-heartedly fire a chaos bolt at it. It's gonna get hit with 19 points of psychic damage.
Holy shit. Seriously?
Damn.
You kill it. The troglodyte druid just sort of collapses under the weight of his own despair, realizing his plans had come to ruin immediately. So we'll end turn order officially. Here is the party's loot. I'll post that in Roll20. And our adventurous heroes have traveled and worked hard enough together. They're now level 4. You guys have one last task ahead of you, though. You must secure the cache of weapons, the attaché cache, if you will.
So that's what that smell was. He was dead inside already.
Well, yes, so there are some other, noxious aromas in the room. For example, the squiddy, fishy barrel over here that appears to have been the troglodyte's main source of food. There's also a crate over here where there's clearly bottles of booze spilled on the floor.
First things first, Jared says, it's a bit dark in here, and I'm going to cast light on a few things, so at least my viewers at home can see what the hell is happening. Can you just light up everything?
All right, you now have illuminated the druid's hideout.
Oh god, why is it so bright in here?
Everyone knows lighting is very important.
Yeah, you don't want to stumble around into stuff, especially, with the human-sized furniture. Everything's eye level.
We start looking for the caches. I see a door back here, perhaps a storeroom of sorts.
Aha, Jareth! As you stepped over here, the floor drops out from underneath you, revealing a pit filled with
Oh,
spikes.
shit!
Oh,
You must make a dexterity
I-
save. Jareth, from the fall and spikes, you take 18 piercing and 2 blunt.
that's fine. I fly up, and as I'm flying up, I will use my bonus action to use all my healing on myself. I have my healing pack.
It's a good thing you specifically said you fly out of the pit, though, because you notice a spring-loaded mechanism snap, and the plate that you had stepped on snaps back into place, and you notice almost like an illusionary snow cover the lines again of the plate.
I'm going to take a long rest. You figure out if there's any more traps. I'm just going to sit on the table here.
You
All
want
right,
me to
well.
investigate the doormat?
Yes, the door is locked.
Hey, Sibo, you want to help me over here for a second? Before
Yeah,
you-
give me a second. Let me just maneuver around here. This plate was tricky. Actually, I think my investigation's pretty good, so then I'll just roll.
You don't
Because
think
nothing's
there are
a
any
help
more
action.
traps?
I don't have thieves' tools. We don't have a rogue in the party.
Oh no, I was gonna Eldritch Blast the door until it shattered.
That was my plan.
We won't have to worry about rolls. I'll just let you guys blast it open with magic. And in the smoldering ruin is the 2 well tucked away chests inside. And with you opening one of the chests, you see it's a very large cache of weapons. The crates probably each weigh 400 to 500 pounds each.
Shit, we don't have anything to pull the carts?
You
I
guys
was
do not have
just shoving it
wagons?
into the bag of holding, but the bag of holding only has a 300-pound weight limit on it.
Wait a minute.
What?
There's
What?
snow here, isn't there?
Yes.
We used to have this really fun slide back where I was from. I don't remember the name, but if we just make a big path of ice, we could just take the chests and push them somewhere else.
Okay, how do you suggest we melt enough snow to make that into ice?
I can make ice with shape water, so I can make a big old slip and slide. Or you could just lash rope to the end of it and just drag it, because it'd be a lot easier to drag, and you could have somebody on the other end pushing it and guiding it.
Plan will work and is going to go swimmingly. There's only one problem. The
will
original
take
time
forever.
it took you to get from your boat to this cave was 1 hour. So you had to roll for exposure from the snow and ice for 1 hour. It's going to take you at a minimum 2 hours just to push both chests. So you're going to need to roll for exposure twice. Has anybody checked out this portion of the cave?
We haven't finished yet.
We were just making a plan.
I was over there.
Let Willie search it then. While we're all doing this, Willie's just been standing there. Let him do it.
Would I have noticed anything? Or?
Yes. So what you notice immediately, besides the disgusting squid meal and the ruined alcohol, is that the water is right here. And the troglodyte druid actually had a boat that he appeared to be moving supplies with.
What are you guys doing?
Looks like Jareth and Kasurga are both like just kind of icing up the ground, making a big old slide.
Well, if you guys are walking back, I'm taking this boat over here.
Wait, what boat?
Oh, you mean that boat behind the druid? Yeah, I noticed that, but, you know, the druid was kind of a bigger problem at the time.
Some of us are only 3.5 feet tall, all right? I couldn't see it.
I was busy
that's
falling into pits. How much quicker would it be to take the ship out of here? Could we sail back to our boat faster?
Yeah, absolutely. You guys wouldn't need to roll for exposure inside the conclave itself, and then once you were on the boat, you could easily make way back to your boat. You'd still have one exposure just in the time to get back from the exit of the cave here to your boat.
So we're combining the two ideas of ice sliding the chests over to the boat.
Yep, and
Yes.
building a ramp of ice to get onto the boat. All right, we'll load up onto the boat and make our way back towards Salt Spire. You guys can do a long rest on your way back to Salt
And should
Spire.
we level ourselves up?
Yep, and you can level up during the long rest. You'll, reflect on your adventures, and that's what allows you to level up, and you've rested. And
All
gained your health.
right.
You guys make it back to Salt Spire with no difficulties. If you guys recall, when you first made berth at Salt Spire, you had stopped at this dock here, kind of the no man's land where ships go. So Sansa pulls the ship into here again, and you guys make your way back to the Drunk Skunk, the tavern on the island of Salt Spire, where you had met Biggs, Lump, and the rest. You see, upon entering the Drunk Skunk, Lump sees you, because of course he's the bouncer, and immediately runs over, but instead of his gruff, no weapons approach before, he runs over and literally tries to grapple Willie. But it doesn't appear in a threatening manner, Willie, so he actually tries to embrace you and then pick you up. It's like a big playful hug, like a bear.
Yeah. Hold on.
Okay. He hugs you. He says, "Potato Man, back!" He looks over to Biggs and says, "See, they not stupid." And then Lump walks back over to the table. Biggs spits out the beer that he was drinking. Fucking hell. Well, I didn't think you all would make it back all right.
We party hard for a reason. We work just as hard.
My friends, I will bring you today's special. Give me but a moment, as Jin calls from the bar.
Thanks, Jen.
Biggs, well, I gotta keep my word. You got our box of toys?
That we did.
You find the Queen Mum surprise?
I don't know what you're referring to. The Queen Mom's surprise? What?
Was the Queen's Mum surprise a hole in the ground?
Yes, that one.
Oh, yeah, no, he walked into that.
Unfortunately, a good hole cannot keep me down.
True to my word, I'll get you a sit down with the mum. But it's gotta be at night. You gotta come to the back door. I suggest we'll let you park at our dock.
Phrasing.
Don't get seen getting off your boat. Make
What's
a
the
show
problem,
like
Jerry?
we...
Don't like every port in a storm?
No, it's those fucking cultists. If they see you getting off at that dock, they're gonna know that you're helping us. And then we're gonna be marked.
Oh, we don't want that. Is there a way that we can go incognito?
Biggs says, "Listen, you come round to the mum's back gate." So if you're looking at Salt Spire, here is the DeRay estate. That's the Scarlet Sails house. That's where you're going to meet Scarlet. What he's telling you is you can pull your boat onto this dock, but don't let
It's right
anybody
there.
see you get off that dock. But basically, if you pull the boat here, you could walk up.
I can be unseen. I can literally turn invisible.
As can I. And I'm also known to be able to talk my way out of a few sticky situations.
Just
All
like
right.
a good rhyme.
I'll go tell the mom you're coming. Lump, you mind the fort.
Yeah, I mean,
Like-
guys, we've been
like
at sea
most
before.
ships
We
would.
know what we're doing. We'll park offshore. We'll get in the little boat. I'll fog us up. We'll get in there. Big bang boom. Get paid and party hardy. What do you think?
I'm assuming that we're going at a party.
You guys enact
Sounds
your
like a
plan.
plan.
You sail your ship away from the island out far enough that no one would be overly suspicious. You lay down your rowboat and you row to the dock just outside the DeRay estate. This is the first time, though, you've approached the island from this direction. So it's the first time you've also also seen this building, number 6, the Rag and Bones House. Part mausoleum, part galleon, the Rag and Bones House is one of the most distinctive landmarks everyone on the island makes it a point to avoid for good reason. This is the local base of operations for the Duke of Bones and his Rag and Bones crew. Locals rarely say they see zombies and skeletons shambling around in the dead of night, moving goods to and from his docked vessel. Otherwise, no one has ever been seen going in or out. The DeRay estate is a much nicer affair, however, right next to it. You guys make your way across the water, passing near the DeRay and the Duke's shared dock. You come to what would be like a service entrance on the back of the house. That's clearly where the kitchen is. And you see Biggs, as you approach the door, Biggs quickly pops the door open and, without saying anything, moves his hand to wave you inside. You make your way through the kitchen, but oddly you notice, despite being the kitchen of the entire crew, the Scarlet Sails, there's no food out, there's no cookware. There's food in, there's barrels and crates, but there's no food. And Biggs ushers you into a parlor. Biggs motions for you all to have a seat. I'm gonna go get the queen. You all wait here.
Wow, this is a really fancy place, guys.
Yeah, but it's clean for like a pirate crew.
Yeah, I was to the Great Grease's place once. He had a place kind of like this.
I've never heard of him.
He's more of a local celebrity.
You guys hear a mechanical clicking sound like a lock turning, and the wall opens, and a group of 3 people step out of the wall first. You see these 3 step out first. They don't speak. They enter the room and kind of just stand to one wall away from you all. Biggs comes in. Of course, you recognize Biggs. Mm-hmm. And then you see the last person entering after the 3 creepy people stood there for a few seconds. She kind of comes at her own pace. The fabled pirate herself, Scarlet DeRay. Biggs, go make sure we don't have any spiders. Ruby, Sapphire, you may go help him. I'm sure Hero can handle these if they get out of control. And with that, the 2 females and Biggs step out of the room. The very scary male continues to stand there, arms crossed, just staring at you. You're not even really sure if he's breathing. He's just standing there almost like Drax from Guardians of the Galaxy. And Scarlet helps herself to a seat nearby. So, did you all find Big's present?
If you're referring to the weapons cache, then yeah, we may have stumbled across it.
If you're referring to that hole in the ground with the spikes, he kind of walked face first into it.
How else would we test the competency of people in our employ if we did not have traps and tricks to test their mettle?
Well, as you can see, I am clearly hull-proof.
Now, I hear you wish to speak with me about the cult?
I guess you guys needed a delivery, and we took care of that.
It is a shame we are unable to leave the island at this point. We are under heavy surveillance from the cult.
Well, hopefully this shipment was able to assist you in this endeavor.
I wonder if you would go a bit further for me. I would, of course, make your payments worth it. I want this cult off my island for good. And I think you all can help me do that. I think I have a plan. The cultists have an island that they carry reinforcements from. I cannot leave this island, so you will go to their island and hinder their reinforcements from helping them. In the meantime, I will distribute the weapons to the island and my people, and you will come back with a special surprise for them after you take out their reinforcements. And then we should have the strength to take them on directly.
Well, if you keep them busy over here and we keep them busy over there, I mean, it divides their strength. Seems not necessarily foolproof, but seems solid.
We don't have the numbers to take the cult on directly. Have you seen their ship? Surely when you came in on either side of the island, you could see it. It is that massive carrack. They have over 200 heavily armored Templar Inquisitors on board.
Wow!
But that's where you're going to come in. I have a former mistress. We worked with a witch who was a master of poisons, and I think we can get her to craft us sleeping poison to drop on their ship. And then, once their reinforcements won't come, their heaviest fighters are asleep, we can assault the fortress directly and take control of the island again.
That's a really good idea.
So, I have a plan. The cultists don't know that their island is connected to the Underdark. You could go to another island nearby and follow the Underdark tunnels and come out inside their fort and ambush them at night before they realize what is happening.
And where exactly is the entrance to this Underdark?
There is an island 1 week's travel from here called the Mawstone Island. Mawstone Island's importance is the Mawstone itself. There is a large stone tower. At the peak is the Umbral Maw, the entrance to the Underdark. So if you have survival, you can roll to identify the Umbral Maw. Sibo, you have heard of the Umbral Maw. This is an ancient landmark that was supposedly crafted by a mage, and the mage wanted a quick access to the Underdark, and so he used spells to shape the island and the surrounding features to make this entrance. Biggs can give you a rough idea of how to get to the cultist's island, and I will give you a map showing you the location of my witch. So
Sad.
you shut down their reinforcements and recover our secret weapon. I will prepare our army and the island, and then we shall take this cult out. Agreed? Accord?
Yeah, sure.
I'm always up for an adventure.
Doesn't sound too difficult.
Give me one of those sending stones. Madame DeRay, here.
Oui.
Jerry, give me one of those stones.
You talking to me? Are you calling me Jerry? That is not my name. You can call me Jareth. You can call me Charles. You can call me Charlie. Or you can call me Cookie. Pick one.
That's a lot of nicknames to choose from.
They're all my name.
Just
Here
give me
is
one of those
some-
sending stones already.
Are you going to give the sending stone
Yes,
to
yeah.
DeRay?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Help coordinate the war effort. She is surprised at the suggestion of the sending stone. Très magnifique. Brilliant, really. Hero, the warrior, takes the stone and nods, and she says, I'll make sure that food is delivered to your ship in the dock in the morning. But it won't come from us. Make sure you know that.
Yeah, no, we'll just get an anonymous donation of supplies. That's fine.
Anything else?
I think we're all set.
I mean, nothing I can think of at the top of my head.
You guys head back to your ship, and in the morning, there is a smiling face waiting on the dock to see you. There is a halfling. Good morning, friends. It's Zan.
Oh, hey, Zan, what's going on?
Hi, friends. It's good to see you. It seems we've decided to bring you a wonderful helping of all kinds of treats from our tent. We've got a lovely sampling of various kinds of biscuits and hardtack to take with you. There's some salted meats there, and Jin even wanted to send his compliments. He sent some aboleth sashimi today.
I don't know what any of that is, but we thank you for the supplies.
You heard on the wind, ooh, I want to eat that. Jack, you also get that strange sensation of the Fey plane once again, but only for the briefest of seconds.
Okay, what the goddamn hell?
I just kind of like
my god.
looking over my shoulder a few times, just like not trying not to look too suspicious, but like kind of like peering around.
All right, you see that Oleg helps Zan load all the crates and barrels of food onto the ship for you all. And Sibo, Carlin said this one's for you. And he takes out a small baked bun, but he says, it's sweet, I promise you. But Carlin said it's just for you.
Oh, well, I'm honored. I appreciate it. What is it?
She said it's her mother's favorite, and she said it's a special treat for the only chef who's ever outcooked her.
Wow, that is... Wow.
Because,
How long does this stay for? I feel like I should eat this on a special occasion or something.
Oh, you could have it today or tomorrow, no worries. So, party has loaded up the boat. Sansa prepares to make way. You guys have several charts, as you can imagine, because you've got to have a chart to the Mawstone Island, and then you need a chart to the Poison Witch. So the trip passes uneventfully, and here is another view of the main island where you're headed. Wagler looks at you all. Mawstone Island, another fascinating geological entity. The island itself exists due to detonation of a deep-sea volcano, followed by a subsequent series of eruptions leading to the large Mawstone at the center of the island. A drow mage, one of the former lords of the Utter Cold, used his magics to cut through the stone to form the Umbral Maw, a gateway to the Underdark. Yes, but a dwarf scholar from Candlekeep suggested that the island and the Maw were actually the creation of massive earthen plates smashing into each other. Ridiculous, poppycock! Hey, what an idea, earthen flatware smashing around. He was dismissed as resoundingly as his ridiculous ideas. Continents supported by earthware. Thankfully, he was banished from Candlekeep and sent to die in the cold like he deserved.
Wow, I hope I never get my thesis critiqued that hard.
Yes, academics at Candlekeep are of the utmost difficulty. I myself never sought professorship there. And if
Can't
you
imagine
have
why.
history or arcana, you may roll that to know more about Candlekeep.
I've always wanted to go to Candlekeep. It's the largest repository of knowledge in the world. Big fortress filled with books from end to end where the scholars meet.
But only those with the tightest of rectums are admitted.
Never knew the wise Alondo had such tight glutes.
Elminster was often renowned for his longevity because of his gluteal workouts. He often was observed wandering the beaches near Waterdeep's coast. When you guys depart the boat and make your way to the island, Sansa says that she's going to briefly sail away so that the boat doesn't stay here where people can attack it, and then she's going to let you guys do what you need to do. You see how there's that kind of outer ring? She's going to move outside of that, and you guys are going to climb up the Mawstone and then down into the Underdark. So when you get to the stone itself, there's actually a very nice rope ladder just conveniently hung there for you. No difficulty at all. You climb right up. When you get to the top of the Mawstone, you kind of get the sense that the world is getting dark, even though it's not nighttime. And when you reach the top, you see the Umbral Maw is actually a very, very shallow pool of water, maybe 6 to 12 inches deep. And then in the center is the actual Umbral Maw itself, where there's basically an obsidian staircase carved into the stone that goes spiraling downward, leading into the Underdark itself. You make your descent to the Underdark, and that is where you find yourselves. What I was thinking was, so it didn't descend into total chaos, we just do an initiative order just for movement. Jareth, you start us off. Again, you can feel free to RP and talk. It's just for movement.
I can't see anything.
Like, we can't see shit.
Literally nothing.
Then you might need a light spell.
No dark vision.
Jareth, would you like me to let you cast a light spell on yourself?
Yeah.
All right. You are going to emit bright light to, what was it, 20 feet?
20 feet of regular light and then 20 feet of dim light.
There. Now Jareth is your lantern.
Well, I cast light and I'm letting someone else go first, so maybe someone else who's better at finding traps should go first.
And then I'll investigate for traps or anything of note.
You know that you see a lot of traffic this way, and you see that there's definitely something here, but it doesn't look like a lot of traffic up here.
We should probably just go where all the traffic is going.
Hi, Cass here. Looks like Willie went to the south path.
That's where I was pointing out before. I pointed out to the entire party that path to the south was the most traveled.
Hey, I found something down here.
All right, that's the first interactable area, so I'm going to move everybody there ahead of the initiative order, and you can kind of rearrange yourselves in this room. And you see a small nook of a smuggler's den can be found tucked away here. Crates and barrels long since abandoned have gathered a heavy layer of dust, and the smell of must is thick in the air. Only rotted or rusted remains fill the containers. A fresher appearing rope and cinch rest on the ground as intended for a climb. However, the climber, like the smuggler, is long gone. And Sibo and Kaz, you feel like something doesn't make sense here.
Something doesn't make sense about this.
Well, it's definitely off, Kaz. What's
What are we
the whole
looking
point
at?
of this? Well, it's a winch and some kind of rope, but the winch looks off. What does it connect to?
How about an investigation?
I will give them guidance.
23. Sibo, you realize as you step closer to the edge, there is another ledge slightly visible over here, but there is a 10-foot chasm separating you from this area. And when you look, you see this.
Yo, Kaz, come here, look. There looks to be like a bedroll and like sleeping or camping supplies.
And it's over a
Like-
chasm?
Yes.
It's on the other side.
There's a 10-foot chasm here.
Okay, I fly over.
Okay, you fly over. You find a chest. You find an abandoned crate that has some things in it. Kaz, you find a copper bell set with aquamarine and peridot and a set of ivory dice. Get it? Dice?
Nice.
No, I don't get it.
Yeah.
And it's got copper pips.
It's dice because we're playing a game that involves dice.
I love that trope in D&D.
Oh, dice like in Monopoly.
You also find, oddly, a stone, but it's unlike a stone you've ever seen before.
Hey, Jareth, can you come over here for a sec?
Perhaps. What for?
It's an interesting stone. You read a lot of books. Maybe you know about it.
Well, one does like a good rock. And I float on over there.
There's a stone I want you to look at.
Okay. I see. And I'm looking at the strange triangle. Do I need to roll an arcana to know what it is? I mean, I could always do identify too. I have that ritual.
Okay, explanation time. Ritual casting is casting a normal spell, but without having to spend a spell slot to cast it. But instead, you take 10 minutes. Yeah.
All right, Jareth, you know that this is part of a series of stones used to open a magical lock.
So it's part of a key of some sort.
Oh, thank goodness. Oh, after 10 minutes, you finally figured out what the stone does.
Oh, I'm sorry. Would you like to take it back to town and have it identified? I'm sure that would only take a few days.
Yeah, well, I thought maybe your book magics would have been a bit faster than that.
Oh, is 10 minutes not convenient enough for you to unlock all the mysteries of the universe? I'm sorry, but the tap don't drip that fast around here.
You have effectively cleared out this area, and the party may return to here. Do you have Arcana trained, Kaz?
No, I do not. I do not care for books, nor those who read them.
All right, Kaz, you're not certain. Oh, but you know what? With your perception, you notice that there's something wrong with the air here.
There's something different about the right path.
I require that we go down the spooky hole with the weird magic.
The path that was traveled the most, which one was it?
Aha, so with your perception, you know that this path was the most traveled by far. Sibo, as you get closer to this tunnel, you sense that there are spores in the air. They're not dangerous, but you see down here almost like the cavern starts to have some growth on the ground, but you're too far to tell. Jareth, you're quite a knowledgeable fellow. Would you like an Arcana or a Nature?
I don't know, it's spores. Let's do nature. I've done Arcana all night.
Jareth, you recognize these as the early spores of a myconid colony. Myconids are a race of mushroom people.
I think we might be near a myconid colony, a group of mushroom men.
Are they hostile?
They can be.
Intrinsically, no. Myconids are generally very docile creatures.
So if there's a myconid colony that way, would it behoove us to go and introduce ourselves or keep it moving?
They might know a little bit about this area instead of just wandering blindly through these tunnels.
Also a great point.
As you enter this cavern, you see large, giant mushrooms. And Kaz and Sibo are able to sense, after you sort of gaze at the area for a bit, that you notice some of the mushrooms begin to move. The party, upon seeing the myconids, immediately gets a psychic or telepathic sense of peace, just of general calm, and you almost can see visions of the myconids just walking around and sort of planting more mushrooms and harvesting and living here, and just like a happy sense. You get a very peaceful sense. Willie notices down this hallway a different creature. The one with the large crest and the red dot is about the size of like a medium or large dog. The other ones that you see, there's just lots of them. There's swarms of them. But they don't necessarily look hostile. They look defensive. And the one with the green crest and the red says something in Sylvan.
The one language none of us speak.
I pull out my lute, I strum on it.
Are you going to ritual cast comprehend languages?
I was just going to cast it, so it's instantaneous.
Come on, we ain't got all day. Tell me what the fuck you got to say.
All right, she repeats in Sylvan, don't come any closer. That is where we will leave off our adventure for the night.
Yeah, that is where we'll end it for tonight. So,
bonne nuit.
Good night.
Au revoir. Adios.
Good night, chat.
But if you are here from parts 1 and 2, thank you very much. If you watch this to the end, thank you very much. If you like what you saw, you can always hit that subscribe button down below. And if you want to see more D&D, go ahead and hit that like button. All right, have a great night, everyone.